Hey everybody, it's Greg the Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, today we're finally hopping into the country pack that was just released from Hearts of Iron 4 called The Graveyard of Empires. So today we're going to be checking out the new British Raj content, and yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Okay, well, yeah, it looks all pretty much the same, the British Raj here. We do have a new leader here, Freeman Thomas. Yeah, he's just the British administrator, don't worry. We're going to be making some changes here pretty soon. But we do have we have princely states that are hurting our autonomy progress, which sucks. We've got marginalized Muslim population in the country, so that's hurting our stability and recruitable pop, which is terrible. We have the risk of famine still, so yeah, not great. And we also have the Great Depression, which was just added. So yeah, apparently we still are dealing with that in 1936. So not super either. And we have an agrarian society. So yeah, if you wanted any manpower, well, we're not going to have any of that. So don't worry about that. Yeah, we've got a lot of great paths that we can go down here as India. Some of them are a little more convoluted than others, but today we're going to be saying that greed is good, and we are going to go all the way down here on the right and incorporate the East India Company. Yes, we're going back to the past.
Change us.
What are you talking about? This money is our ticket to the good life, starting now. I just bought a giant room full of gold coins, and I'm gonna dive into it like Scrooge McDuck. Ah! It's not a liquid! It's a great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface! Ah!
Now, we don't really have anything to start out with here. We have one military factory and one dockyard, which, yeah, not super. We do have currently 9 civilian factories, which isn't great. We're going to need a ton more civilian factories for what we're planning. A ton. Now, before we look to the future to continue going down the tree, I'm going to make a quick pit stop over here to the trade port. Yes, we actually have another piece of territory that was added in the DLC. The British Raj controls the port of Aden here. So, yeah, you know, there's that. So, yeah, we have something more to hold on to. The cool thing is, if we come over here and grab the trade port, we're going to get some more civilian factories and infrastructure. Okay, so we've got the question. So the question of Aden. So basically the British are saying, hey, we want you to give this to us. And we can either tell them, sure, why not? That sounds like a good deal. Or we can tell them to piss off. So if we hand it over, we're going to gain some autonomy. But honestly, we don't really care about that because that's not the path we're going down. So we're just going to go ahead and keep it. So you're going to get periodically, you're going to get these little pop-ups coming up. There's going to be widespread violence throughout all of India that we're going to be dealing with through the whole game. So get used to it. So you always have 2 options here. You can either have the police stand down or you can disperse the crowd. Now, if you have them stand down, it's going to up the resistance. If you disperse the crowd, it's going to hurt compliance and also give you a little bit of resistance. So, choose whatever works best for you. Okay, well, we've got 2 things we need to do before we can incorporate the East India Company of old. We need to reach out to the government and seek initial funding, as well as we need to boost relations with the British in order to, be able to fund the company again. So, yeah. Okay, cool. So we can finally incorporate the East India Company. After the shock of the Great Depression and increasingly louder calls for independence, it's clear that the British Crown can no longer bear the burden of governing India. We may lead to temporary instability, but the status quo is not tenable. So, yeah, instead we're just going to turn all of India over to corporation. So I'm sure that's going to work out for everybody involved, certainly for the company, I'm sure. But one thing is, we're going to remove the risk of famine, so apparently that's not a thing anymore. So that's good. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, well, we are officially the East India Company now. We have new mechanics. We have external investments, taxes, so on and so forth. We do have this new mechanic that opens up. Effectively, we're just a big corporation, of course, and so really the only thing we're interested in is corporate profits, of course. So in that regard, we have a new kind of consumer goods factor tree thing that opened up here. So we need to focus on building civilian factories. It's the only thing we care about. Well, as we do have a few factors here, let's go ahead and grab a small amount of dividends to our investors. That's going to give us a small increase to our construction speed. Now that we have a company, we need to appoint a C-suite here. So we need to effectively appoint a CEO to our board of directors So, yeah, as the East India Company, get used to, well, you'll have decent political power, but you're going to have serious stability issues and war support issues for pretty much the entire run. So, there are ways to deal with that through your focus tree, but it's always going to be a thing. Okay, well, we have this little pop-up here, so we need to appoint who's going to be the CEO of the new company. We've got a few options here. I guess they all kind of, have their perks for sure. Some of them are better than others. I usually go with the government connections, so we can get that extra political power, which is going to be crazy handy for later on, which you'll see. And we now have a board of directors, and yeah, they couldn't possibly look any more entitled and British than they already do. So we're going to be strip mining all of India. Let's go ahead and take over administrative rights. In order to withdraw from the region gracefully, the British government has begun outsourcing administrative tasks to our company. So, yeah, this is gonna really make it cheaper to hire advisors. Okay, well, we do have some political power. Let's go ahead and spend some of that. We actually have quite a few options we can fill our board with, our board of directors, and so we have some unique political advisors, which, there's some good advisors in here, I suppose. Mostly tycoon types. I kind of like to grab Jim Corbett here. I think he's a pretty good early pick. It's going to hurt your war support and your construction speed, which, objectively sucks since you need to build as many factories as possible. But that extra political power is huge, and, 0.10% weekly stability, that's huge as well. And you get 8% research speed. This guy's like a no-brainer. You got to get this guy. Okay, well, we're dealing with a pretty nasty debuff. We've upset Congress leaders, which is, it's not great. It's really hurting our construction speed, which in turn is really hurting our ability to generate a profit for our shareholders. So, no, that just won't work for us. Instead, we're going to go ahead and do union busting, because of course we are. We're going to do some union busting, and then we're going to arrest some congressional leaders. That'll fix the problem. Okay, well, I think it's high time, actually, for some hostile takeovers. Yes, everything can be bought, everything. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll have decisions where we can sacrifice civilian factories to acquire territory all over the world. Okay, well, we've done the hostile takeover focus, so now it opens up this whole other side of our focus tree where we can just literally buy territory all over the world. We could buy the Suez Canal. We could buy the Panama Canal. Yeah, we could... It's really expensive. It would cost 8 civilian factories, but we could seize the means of, shipping all over the world. Yes, it will be ours. But more importantly, if we get our territory in the British Raj back, we're going to be able to core this territory. So, we'll get all of the factories, which we've been investing into these territories, plus the manpower. It's a win-win-win. And honestly, the more resources that we can gobble up, the more factories we can get out of it when we trade those resources away. So let's go ahead and start buying up some territory. And look at that, a great deal. They just handed over. They always say yes. So basically, I'm working down the path where we can start cooking the books. We're going to start hiding our profits from the British tax advisors or our tax accountants up in London. So we'll be able to hide some of our corporate profits and in turn reduce our consumer goods factor, which is very, very good. Because as we get more factories, we're moving up into the second taxable bracket, which sucks because that's going to take a fair amount of our factories at the end of the year and just hand it over to the British. And we have a really unique economy law just for the East India Company, this capital investment model, which really hurts our political power gain. But the cool thing is it also... So we also have this new economic model just for the East India Company, this capital investment model. So it really hurts your political power gain and your overall stability. But if you're okay with that, it really boosts your construction speed for civilian factories and infrastructure, which is all we care about, really. Okay, I've just continued to manipulate the consumer goods factor here with cooking the books even further. So now you can see that we're firmly still only in the second tax bracket, and now we only have to pay 1% tax rate to our overlords in London. So not too bad. We're keeping more and more of these factories hidden and off the books from the man. So I've continued to cook the books even more, and I've got our consumer goods factories down to. So I've considered. Okay, well, I've continued to cook the books, and I've got our consumer goods factor down to what it is currently here. So even in the second bracket here, we're at negative 6%. If we can get down to negative 1%, or to 1% tax bracket, that would be amazing with negative 21. But the long story short is that we're going to be getting a refund back effectively from the government. So not only are we not going to pay taxes, we're going to get money back. Now, it is April of 1939, so I think it's high time that we start getting our private armies started here. We need private armies and we need private navies if we are intent on protecting what is ours. So let's go ahead and start the headhunt process, getting ourselves some army. So Germany's done the thing, and Britain wants us to join the war effort, but yeah, that doesn't really interest us at the moment. And the continued cooking of the books continues, and now we've actually been able to move down to the first taxable bracket. Yeah, so we're going to get a massive rebate at the end of the year. Well, I've been hard at work at acquiring territory. We have pretty much all of India under our control. The British won't give up this little tip of India. There's no option to purchase that from them. But I have been purchasing assets in the Middle East, starting up here in, I guess by the Persian Gulf here. And also, we did take French Somaliland, so yeah. Interesting thing is we still haven't joined the war, and I have no intention of joining the war anytime soon. So, the Allies are going to have to just get by without us. Instead, we're going to be focusing on what we do best, making money. Now, I could go and purchase up all the territory in British Burma here. The only problem is we can't core this territory, so we'd have to occupy it. The only province that really has any interest to me is probably Mogwai here, because it's got so much damn tungsten in it. So we might go ahead and purchase that up, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go ahead and purchase some destroyers and subs, because, if we have all these corporate profits all over the world, we need to protect those assets, and so we need a navy. And the British East India Company always had a grand navy. Okay, I've been boosting relations with Britain, the Americans, and the Japanese in order to buy some ships from them, some old destroyers and dreadnoughts. Let's see if we can do that. Excellent. Britain doesn't want to play. Let's go ahead and open up new markets. There's nation states north of us that are just, sitting on all the resources, all their factories, and, denying us more market saturation. So, we got to sort that out. Okay, finally, let's go ahead and get the death knell of the Raj. This is kind of cool. It's going to allow us to annex what's left of the British Raj, which, isn't a lot. But more importantly, it's going to allow us to fix our marginalized Muslim community debuff and give us back 20% of our population, which, we Next up, we're going to be doing some good business. Yes, it's nothing against our Eastern colleagues, really. It's just they have our resources, and it's just good business. It's going to give us 2 annexation goals on the Dutch East Indies and the Kingdom of Siam. So, why would we? And the Soviet Union's declared war. Everybody's declaring war on Iran. Yay. No, this is ours. It's been hard fought going through these stupid mountains. It's ours. You can't have it. Excellent. Well, Iran is gone. And we've expanded the company westward. Yay! More room for opportunities. Big problem is we are dealing with massive shortages of manpower. We need to address that ASAP, which means we need to start working on, military pensions and starting to get rid of some of the recruitment issues with agrarian society. Something I have neglected, but, this is the first time trying the Indian Raj here. Okay, well, we've almost helped out the British clean up the province of Malaya here. Yeah, we're going to absolutely get schnonkered this year with our taxes. We're in the 39% bracket. Oh my god. There's nothing I can do to reduce this either. We're just going to have to take it. We've got so many factories now, but it is what it is. Okay, our company Marines are attempting to make landings in Bangkok. I think we'll probably be able to do that. Let's go ahead and spread out. Our other troops need to land. Where the hell are they? It's getting a little thin here. They're close. They're close. Oh, they're gonna go across land for some reason because that's the most convenient route. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, well, we've just completed rebranding campaigns, so we can actually go and start coring out all this territory that we occupy, which is pretty incredible. A little bit overpowered, if you ask me. The only catch is we have to get the compliance up high enough and resistance down low enough in order to do so, but you can see that there are quite a few that we've already done that with. So we can start doing that. We do take a political power hit to doing so, just like any time you do a core mechanic with any other faction, but yeah, not that we need the manpower, but we could always use more factories, I guess. I don't know. Looks like the Germans are having a bad day. D-Day happened at Lorient. I guess the first thing to fall was the sub yards. Well, yeah, this is the end of Germany. Yeah, apparently my mothballed fleet can't really withstand the entire Imperial Navy, so yeah, that happened. We're going to go ahead and start to legalize the opium trade. We're going to take a big hit to, we're going to go ahead and start to legalize the opium trade. We're going to take a big hit to stability, but we're going to take a bigger hit to reduction of our consumer goods factories. 25%, that's huge. Why wouldn't we do that? And we're clearing out the Philippines. Soon enough, we'll be landing the home islands, and this war will be over. Oh, Italy's not looking so good. Benito, what are you doing, man? Looks like America is trying to turn Italy into the 51st state. Okay, China has agreed to a large trade of large quantities of opium between our countries. The new treaty port, we were able to directly distribute the goods all across the world. Let this consumption bring friends and foes closer together. We've become Heisenberg. And the walls are closing in for Germany. It won't be much longer in the west. And then we just need to clean up the Japanese issue. And then we'll have peace. And then we can all make money. Won't that be great? And we have naval supremacy. Let's go ahead and see if our company Marines can make landings in Japan. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We've made landings. Oh boy. Once we get our hooks in you, your market's ours. So we're looking to expand our eastern markets, and Tokyo looks like a great place to get started. I don't know where the Japanese army is. I'm guessing it's all down in Southeast Asia. Yeah, we've destroyed a good portion of their army. They keep trying to take the Philippines back, and yeah, it's not working out for them. And just like that, Japan is tipped over. Now, we don't have as many points as we would like, but they've been fighting China forever, so I suppose it's not all that unusual that we don't have much to work with. But let's see what we can grab. Well, we have a disgusting piece, like usual, typical HOI fashion, but we were able to get a few things out of it. I would have really liked to have grabbed up Siam, but it's okay. We'll just simply purchase it on the market anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. We did go ahead and open up Eastern markets by grabbing a chunk of Japan, including up here in Sakhalin, yes, so we can grab the oil up here, so always good things to grab. Yeah. Germany is just about to tip over, and I think, I don't even think we can get there in time, actually. Well, we made it. We have East India Company troops fighting in Germany. Yes, it's a pretty normal world. Pretty normal world. Come on, come on. We have to get to Berlin first. We have to get to Berlin first. Oh, it's going to be close. I think we can do it. Oh. And just like that, the East India Company has taken Berlin. Of course, it went to the Soviets, but, we actually did the work. Come on, I'm just waiting for this war to end. Is Greater Hungary a major? What the hell? They're at 99%, so this will be over soon. Finally, finally, the war is over. There we have it. We have a disgusting peace settlement, like always. It's a very Soviet world. The Soviets did take a lot of territory in Europe here. So, yeah, the Cold War is going to be getting hot pretty quick. Unfortunately, they also sniped a good portion of Iran from us, and we had very few points. So, as all of our time is spent in the East. So, unfortunately, they grabbed a lot of this, but we can go ahead and purchase a lot of this territory off of them on the market anyways. So, I'm not too worried. frankly, first time out playing the Raj, or at least I should say the East India Company. Pretty fun. You should give it a shot. It's a little overpowered. We have 10 million men in reserve, and honestly, we can core so much territory, and that's just the territory that we hold. We can purchase more territory as we get more civilian factories built all over the world. There's literally hundreds of provinces that you can buy, and the AI will almost always give them to you. And then you can core them out once you get the compliance up high enough and the resistance down low enough. It's a little overpowered, frankly, but you can make the whole world East India Company if you care to. But I think this was a pretty fun path, so I would highly recommend it. Give it a shot and turn yourself into your own Scrooge McDuck. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it for today. If you guys have enjoyed today's content, please like the video and consider subbing to the channel if you haven't done so already. I drop HOI content regularly, and it'd be great to have you join the community. In the meantime, I've been Greg the Gamer. You guys stay awesome, and I'll be back with you very soon. Take care.